You're watching the 2015 Pan American Games on ESPN, presented by Cricket Wireless. And a reminder, literally, in just hours, the Open Championship begins at the Old Course St. Andrews. With that man, Jordan Spieth, in that blue shirt, all eyes will be on him, looking for his third major in as many tries in an effort to try to win the Grand Slam bright and early tomorrow on ESPN. Coverage begins at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, and anywhere you go tomorrow on Watch ESPN. All right, Courtney is here. We're talking gymnastics, and I think for a lot of people, no matter how many sports you have, whether it's 41 countries and 36 sports, whether it's the Olympics or the Pan Am Games, those numbers I just reeled off for the Pan Am Games, so many people watch and only watch for gymnastics. They love it. They can't get enough of it. Today's the final day of competition, unfortunately. What have you taken away, and what have you learned here over the last few days?
That these are young athletes, and they're gaining experience from this event. It's been a great event. It's put on like a World Championships and Olympic Games, and so for these young girls who have never been to those events, it is perfect for them to learn. Yeah, it's a reasonable facsimile of what they might run into in Rio. Let's go event by event what we have today and get Courtney's opinion on everything. Let's begin on the beam for the final. Victoria Wu of Canada is up first here. So like you said, this is their 5th day of competition. They might be tired, they might be sore, and this is where the mental strengths come in. So this is all a mental game, and we'll see how she fares. She's been pretty consistent so far at the Pan Ams. Coming up with her first big tumbling pass. We call that a nice back handspring layout.
And you've told me before, the beam is the one event where you can kind of feel and hear that crowd.
That's right. It's helpful when you're doing good, or if something crazy happens, it might jitter you a little bit, but she is finding her landings, and that is what you're looking for on a finals day when you're tired. Little step on that landing, but overall, great routine. She had a 13.65 for that finish.
How much pressure is there as we go to Megan Skaggs here of the United States? When you're a Canadian doing this on your home soil, I can imagine it just adds to the burden.
You know, I thought at first it would add more pressure to them, but because this audience and crowd has been so great and so fantastic, I think it probably just helps them relax.
Interesting. What have you seen here out of Megan very early in the routine?
Well, that was a difficult first turn she did. She was low to the ground. It's called a Humphrey, named after Taryn Humphrey from the Olympic Games that I went to, which is pretty cool. But she is a solid competitor as well. Just like Victoria Wu, we just saw, her landings were precise, and that is what Megan brings to this event. No movement. That is exactly what you want to see.
In some ways, it's already been a success here for the Americans, hasn't it?
For sure. Winning that gold medal for them was such an enjoyment to see because they are so excited, and this is their first time to be in that team atmosphere.
How about Brazil's Flavia Lopes-Savaria?
This little one, she is a star. Little mistake here. She usually performs the balance beam like she's on the floor exercise, so that was very unusual for her.
An atypical mistake, you're saying?
That's correct.
Oh.
And then fell off there again. You know, she looks a little bit nervous in how she's performing. Maybe she knew she came in qualified first for this event. Maybe she knew she could possibly get a gold medal, and it threw her off a little bit. She's gaining experience, like we said before, though, but she has made a big impression on me during this event.
Best days yet to come?
Oh, for sure. This is brand new for her. She will be one to watch for Rio 2016.
Rachel Gowie of the United States. It's our second American we're taking a look at here after Skaggs.
And she got the gold medal on the uneven bars.
Ooh.
There you go again. See, the balance beam is difficult. When you're not in it, it can take you right off. That's where they need to realize they know how to do these routines.
How mentally tough do you have to be to just get right back up there? I know you have to just finish the routine, but how difficult is that?
It's difficult, but for these gymnasts, they're so determined to get back on there and show that they know how to do this event. They probably don't think twice until they're off the beam and realize, ow, that kind of hurt. But Rachel has been battling some ankle issues. She only started back on the balance beam when she came to Toronto. Did great in qualifying event and came off there again, so it's very uncharacteristic.
Speaking of great, I mean, this might be the story of the Pan Am Games, this young lady right here.
Ellie Black, she, I would like to say, has dominated And it's not just because she's winning, but it's how she performs. Had a slight wobble there, but she is so precise and confident. And you can tell she's confident with how she handles her skills. Like, she knows she's gonna land it right before she gets there. That's what you want to see at these international competitions. Difficult, difficult beam routine.
If I would have told you she could possibly leave here with 5 medals, what would you have told me?
I would have thought she would like that.
Feasible coming in? I mean,
definitely feasible, but I would never have thought 3 gold medals.
3 golds.
No, she's already... Look at that skill. That is a difficult skill. And you've seen 2 other girls competing that during these events, and a couple of them have faltered on it. And not Ellie. She's hit them every single time. This really just shows that she can handle it for Canada. She is one to be on that leaderboard, to be on the top of their team.
Just as a fan, just as a viewer, not competing at the highest level like you did, the look in her eyes, the confidence, even something like it just shines so through so clearly.
And she's got it. She's in that zone. She knows what she's doing here tonight.
Gold medal number 3, 5 medals overall. Let's go to the parallel bars. Donnell Wittenberg of the United States will be up first here, Courtney.
Now, he has some power to this event. It's not typically a power event, but I like to think anything Donnell does is power.
What would you typically call this event? If it's not classified as power, it's classified as what?
I would say it's more smooth. It's a fluid event. They need to keep moving and not be rigid.
Sam Mikulak of the United States, all eyes on him today.
He has been fantastic throughout these games. Look at the height he gets on those releases. But not only that, he shows so much control out of the height, and that's difficult. When someone gets a lot of height, sometimes it might shake him for that next skill, but he's so controlled because he's so used to it. And 15.45 for in there.
How about Calvo Moreno, who would have himself a day?
Now, this is the most difficult parallel bar routine you will see tonight. So he has the most skills. That is not easy. He makes it look so simple, but having both those arms on one bar is very difficult to balance. Using his whole body, not just his arms, to do it.
And that routine, the degree of difficulty you mentioned, was obviously going to be rewarded tonight, huh?
It will be, well, he does a very good job. You have to make sure you have that execution score in there as well. So you can have the difficulty, but if you don't execute that difficulty well, you won't score. But
he's executing.
Makes this look effortless. The only one to dismount off the end of the bars. And there you go, not even a deduction on that dismount. That is going to be a high score.
Indeed. And then how about Larduet of Cuba?
This young man, the U.S. didn't even know about him. He hasn't been on those world competitions, and they are impressed.
How does somebody go under the radar? In today's day and age of 2015 and Twitter and social media and you guys canvassing the world for the best, how does somebody go under the radar like that?
Just haven't been out there, and you know what? They're actually excited about this because it's a competitor they can see and they want to beat.
Moreno wins the gold. So before we get you out to the horizontal bars, your thoughts on what we saw tonight from the Americans. Mikulak, to me, has been the breakout star just from watching. From your expert opinion, what else have you seen? Or do you concur with that? He
has been fabulous, but I think Josemar Calvo, like we just saw, who just won the parallel bars, has been the most decorated so far in these games.
Yep, he's going for double gold. He's in the horizontals. We'll take you out there now. Check in live. Mitch Peacock, Elfie Schlegel are there on the horizontal bars. Let's take a look. Courtney, back to discuss in just a moment.
First of 2 Americans in this final. This is Paul Ruggieri.
Paul, of course, 4 years ago in Guadalajara, Mexico, won this apparatus. This is his specialty. He has an extremely high start value. Loves the high flying skills. Beautifully done there. He's not finished yet.
Save your oohs and ahs if you're watching at home. More to come.
2 in a row. Wow, this is looking great. It'll come down to another dismount, double twisting, double layout, just one small step to the side.
So close. 15.450 for Paul Ruggieri of the United States. Canada's Kevin Litwin next on the horizontal bar.
And in qualification, Kevin was just behind Paul Ruggieri of the United States.
15.3 then to the 15.4 of Ruggieri.
Kevin likes to be in control, and you need all kinds of control and concentration for these types of release elements. Beautiful death element, 1.5 twist. He took great risk there. This is excellent. Oh, wow.
The reaction speaks for itself. Kevin Litwin of Canada has them cheering in the Toronto Coliseum. 15.475 is the score for Kevin Litwin of Canada, and he's got a #1 beside his name. Calvo, fresh off of a gold medal on the parallel bars, getting ready to take a run at another. He has 4 medals in the week.
And he has experience. He has been in an events final. It was last year at the World Championships where he placed 8th. He has the goods. This should be a great, great set.
And he seems to love the challenge.
That's his first test. #2. Wow, he's not making it easy. Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah.
And he thinks so too. You know what? The crowd didn't want it to end.
No.
You just had that feeling. 15.7. It is rewarded. Josemar Calvo of Colombia. Mikulik knows the number to beat, 15.7.
Wow, so close on that release element, but he is attacking. Oh.
Oh, Sam Mikulik of the United States. You said he was attacking it.
Not quite sure what went wrong there.
He's looking at his hand or wrist.
That was very interesting. It was very difficult to tell exactly what happened. He was coming down in a swing and really just came down. Very difficult to see.
So Mikulik will jump right back on and pick up the rest of the routine. Unexpected from Sam Mikulik.
Very much so. I was getting ready to point out what had happened in the all-around competition on Sam's dismount and how he might possibly have been thinking towards the end.
He's got to stay in the moment now.
Here's the dismount. Double twisting, double layout, much better from the other day. I'll tell you, that was a strange moment there.
Sam Mikulik of the United States with an uncharacteristic slip, but a very sporting gesture as he comes off.
Raising his arms up, going, oh well, but
yeah.
Hey, he's still happy.
14.575 for Sam Mikulik puts him in the 5th position. And so the champion of the high bar is Jose Marcalvo of Colombia. 15.7. Nobody could touch him.
And what a day it has been for him. Litwin, Canada, Ruggieri, bronze for the United States as we welcome Courtney back in. I just have to go back to what happened there with Mikulik. Elfie said it was indeed very strange, and you essentially concur with that. You said you've rarely ever seen anything like that, and the one rationale for why it might have happened was something Mikulik dismissed. Just your thoughts on it, because I think it really just stunned everybody watching at home and there.
For sure, that he came off of the bar down on the bar. Usually you're going to be coming off of a release element and you don't grab it, or you're in the middle of a skill and you just don't quite make it around. He's literally just falling down to go into the next skill and falls off the bar. And like he said, he has no idea what happened. The only rationale would be a grip ripping. And
but that
grip
didn't
was
happen.
Fine. So it's very strange.
How difficult is it for somebody to just continue their routine? I know Mitch basically said it was a sporting gesture of him to go on and do that and the way he finished his routine, but I got to imagine you can't stop thinking about something like that, right?
Well, at that point, he's like, I had no control over that. So he's going to go out, finish his routine. He did want to improve his dismount, and he did just that.
Indeed. And as for Moreno, 5 medals here at the Pan Am Games, 3 golds, 2 bronze. What a day for him. More gymnastics is on the way. Speaking of medaling, could Holly Mangold do it in weightlifting today? She finished 10th at the 2012 London Olympics. Could she perhaps finish in the top 3 and get on the medal stand for the Stars and Stripes? Your answer when we return tonight on ESPN2. A reminder, Sunday Night Baseball, second half of the baseball season getting going. And the first series of the second half for Boston and Anaheim will end in Southern California. Hand Ram and the Sox. Mike Trout's had himself a pretty good week already. And the Angels. It's Sunday Night Baseball, Sunday at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Courtney is back. Final day of gymnastics. It's been quite a whirlwind. As far as we know, nobody's been disqualified in the gymnastics. It's still a strange story. You called it super weird, and I would concur. That's probably the best way to put it with the swimming. Let's talk about the men's vault, get some thoughts on that as we get closer to taking you in and watching Ellie Black try to go for double gold. So once again, men's vault, we begin with Danelle Wittenberg, who will be up first for the Stars and Stripes here.
Now, this first vault is his most difficult vault, and he performed it so much better tonight than he did in previous competition.
You're really high on him. You really like him.
He is so powerful. It's so fun to watch because look how high he goes. And there he goes with his second vault, twisting. So he's able to do both elements. 14.962 for his vault score.
How about Cole Souza of Brazil?
Now, this young man, he is a talented athlete, and I think this competition, he just hasn't been his best. He's had small mistakes here and there, trying to get on the podium on several occasions and just hasn't done it yet.
Those small little mistakes add up to big problems.
That's right, and you could see there he just got another penalty for going into the red. So did Danelle.
Paul Ruggieri of the United States.
Finally got to see a little bit of him tonight. Great vaulter, and again, going out of bounds. It's been the trend for the men during these competitions on the vault and the floor. That was nicely done. 14.712.
And the last man we'll see, a man that many of us are just meeting, you're telling us, essentially.
That's right, and he is hungry for gold. He's gotten a bronze, he's gotten a silver, but this young man, he wants gold. You can see it in his face after each event that he does. He's just not satisfied, and Yes, he just had a big error there on his landing, but that was a difficult vault, so his difficulty level is up there. And again, his landing just a little bit off, but is the winner because of how difficult his vaults actually are.
Indeed. So he was hungry for gold. He's famished. He's now finished. He's got the gold. Let's send you back out for history tonight. Ellie of Canada looking for a double gold. She had one on the beam, now looking to do so in floor exercises. Mitch Peacock, Elfie Schlegel on the call. Canada's sweetheart on the floor.
Amelia Hundley trying to find that right mix of focus, of energy, and of comfort.
And staying in bounds. Wow, that was beautiful. A beautiful opening for Amelia.
She really attacked it.
She's successfully completed 3 of 4 tumbling passes. This is it, her finale.
Four for 4, Amelia Hundley of the United States. All right, how did Amelia Hundley do? Well, we know she did well, but how well? 14.2 is the score for Amelia Hundley. Ellie Black of Canada next up on the floor. She of the 4 medals, 2 of them gold. What will she produce this afternoon on the floor? She's got to be tired, emotionally as well as physically. Very busy week. Lots of success, lots of attention. And this is the last chance she'll want to finish it up smartly. No white flag. She just can't stop, can she? Ellie Black of Canada, superb once again. Ellie Black of Canada, 14.40. That'll take her into the top spot. Staying with the floor, Madison Desch of the United States, #1 in the qualifying. She was silver in the all-around, and she has all the capabilities here to end up at the top of the podium.
Looking to keep those feet in bounds and stand up the tumbling.
Flag went up. Right on the edge. That's Madison Dash of the United States. Back over on the floor, Madison Dash of the United States, 13.975. It's 13.975 for Dash, the last competitor on the floor exercise final, Ana Gomez of Guatemala.
And she really needs this one for herself. She needs to feel successful finishing her day at the Pan American Games right here on this exercise.
She'll have to better 13.975 to make it to the podium. 14.4, the first place standard of Ellie Black. So we await a score, and we'll tell you how things go. 14.15 for Ana Gomez, and she will move into that third spot. So we talked about it, frustrating for her this week. She finds her way on the podium at the end, and how about that? Ellie Black of Canada ends up in first place on the floor exercise.
Indeed she does. That's 5 medals, 3 golds for the breakout star, doing so for Canada on home soil. Afterwards, our Antoinetta Collins did what nobody else literally could. She caught up with Ellie Black.
Thank you. It is good to be Ellie Black here. Ellie, congratulations. How much fun was it to put a show that you did in front of your crowd?
Oh, it was incredible. This was so much fun. I was looking forward to just coming out and seeing what I could do in event finals. It's been a long week. I couldn't be happier with how today went. The support here has been incredible, so thank you to everyone for coming out and cheering us on.
Now, 3 gold medals. Is there a favorite one for you?
I think the all-around was definitely the top of the week for me for the golds. I was not expecting that, and I think that was my best all-around performance ever. So to go out here to have that performance in Canada in front of the home crowd, everyone supporting me, it was amazing.
Ellie, what did you learn about yourself throughout this competition?
I learned, I think, like every competition, you learn some things from your mistakes, and going into the next competition really working and focusing on what you can improve. But mostly just that this was an awesome competition, an awesome experience to have in the books, and hopefully it'll help me in the future.
Ellie, congratulations and have some fun.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Antoinetta, thanks. When you have to decide which one of your gold medals is your favorite, you know you've had a pretty darn good week. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Your insight and analysis was terrific, and we'll see her back next season on the SEC Network to break it down. Tremendous analysis. Thank you, Courtney. And as we leave you to commercial break, here are some of the images of gymnastics. It has come to an end, but over our shoulder, and as you're about to see, the best sights and sounds of everyone in the discipline.